Powerhouse, presented by Alliant Energy.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
Welcome back to Powerhouse. Conserving energy and our natural resources continues to be a pressing issue. One way we can reduce our impact on the environment is by rebuilding green. We're here in West Des Moines talking with Linda Schemmel, and you have undergone a huge green rebuilding project.
Yes, we have.
So once you found the perfect lot, you hooked up with the appropriate contractors, how did you start the process?
Well, one of the things about this lot is the house itself was in pretty good shape, but the foundation that the house was sitting on was not very good. It had, as with a lot of older homes, issues. It was very shallow, so it would move with the freeze and thaw cycles. It was very difficult to keep it dry and warm. So we decided to go ahead and build a new foundation and move the existing house onto that.
Can we go inside and take a look?
Sure, let's go.
So Linda, tell us about your unique back entryway.
Well, everybody knows you use the back door more than the front door. So one of the things we did is incorporate what's called an airlock entry. And it's really just a small room that's not heated or cooled, that has a door from the outside and the door into the house. What that allows you to do is when you go in and out, you only lose the heated or cooled air from the small room and not the house entirely.
Well, we're here in the main floor of your home. What did you do on this level? What choices did you make and what products did you use?
Well, one of the things we try to do is make choices that were either recycled or something that we had salvaged from the house. And we look at what opportunities we had to integrate them in a couple different areas. One of the things we tried to do is with older homes, they got kind of funky shapes, so we use foam insulation. That allows us to get into all the nooks and crannies and get better insulating value for a narrower wall. The other thing we tried to do is on the finished materials, we salvaged some of the material that we had from trim, doors, etc. But then the new material we tried to use is things that are certified by an agency that makes sure that this is green lumber. It's not available everywhere, but when we found it, we used it. One of the things we also try to do is have some fun. One of the things that a lot of older homes have is this knob and tube wiring. Well, we salvaged all the knob and tubes, and we're going to use it in different areas. For instance, we'll use these for the pulls in the cabinets.
That's great. Now this is a flooring material, right?
Right. This is a subfloor that's actually made out of recycled newspapers, and we use that upstairs where we needed a new floor. What's also nice about this material is it's sound deadening, so you don't hear the footprints upstairs when you put this down on here.
What else did you do upstairs?
Because our house is a 1.5-story house, so you've got the sloped ceilings in the bedrooms, we put the insulation on the roof deck rather than a typical attic. That allowed us to kind of keep that space heated and cooled so we didn't have moisture problems. That also allowed us to run plumbing, electrical, all those things within the warm space instead of in the outside walls.
Well, I'm sure that you have piqued the interest of a lot of our viewers. If there are people out there that are considering jumping into a project like yours, what advice would you give them? Or what resources did you use that were helpful?
Well, they really do have a couple options. I was fortunate as they have a group called Center on Sustainable Communities, which is really a good resource for anybody to consider building green. They have information on suppliers, on materials, and their website is something where it's if you look at experts or if you look at materials, you can feel free to email them for specific questions. Also, the United States Green Building Council and interior designers have put together a website called ReGreen, which is a really good resource for people who are modeling the homes. It has specific projects, it's got information about green building materials and how to integrate them in your house.
Energy Star is another great program too, as far as appliances and things like that.
Right, we wanted to make sure that all of our appliances were Energy Star. The other thing we did is typically you hear about an Energy Star home in new construction, but because we in essence gutted the entire house and are putting in all new mechanical insulation, etc., this house qualifies as an Energy Star house. So we'll be working with the utility company not only for rebates on our upgrades, but then get a rebate through the Energy Star program.
How do you handle the heating and cooling of this house?
Well, one of the things that's important is to make sure that your system is right-sized. We want to make sure that it's not oversized so you don't have problems that way, but it's obviously adequate enough for what your needs are. And then we want to make sure that when the heating and cooling is delivered, it gets to the proper place. So we had a consultant look at the building, tell us how much heating and cooling we needed. They looked at the ductwork, what sizes we needed, whether we needed to insulate it. After we're all done with this, they'll come back in and they'll test it for us and let us know if it's performing the way we need it or if we need to change it.
Well, thanks so much for letting us come into your house and telling us your great story about your green rebuilding.
Thank you.
You stay with us, more Powerhouse coming up.